Hello and welcome to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. We're celebrating National Native American Heritage Month here at the Heard Museum in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a museum filled with the beauty of Native American art and history. November is a month of giving thanks and a time when we honor our veterans for their service and sacrifice. It's also a time when we honor and pay tribute to our Native American servicemen and women through the celebration of National Native American Heritage Month. It's a time we celebrate our indigenous people past and present and rededicate ourselves to honoring tribal sovereignty, promoting tribal self-determination, and upholding the United States solemn trust and treaty responsibilities to tribal nations. And it's a time when we celebrate rich and diverse cultures, traditions, and histories, and to acknowledge the important contributions of Native Americans. As we also celebrate Veterans Day, behind me is the Heard Museum's American Indian Veterans National Memorial, which honors American Indian veterans. We also had a chance to tour the Heard Museum to learn more about its mission, its history, and its beautiful exhibits. Take a look.
The Heard Museum was founded in December 26, 1929 by Dwight and May Bartlett Heard. The mission of the Heard Museum is to be the world's preeminent museum for the presentation, interpretation, and advancement of American Indian art, emphasizing its intersection with broader artistic and cultural themes. We have 3 signature exhibitions here at the Heard Museum. The one that we're standing at the entrance of is Home. Home is a survey of cultures that live in the Southwest. We also have Away from Home, American Indian Boarding School Stories, which is up on our 2nd floor. So it tells a very important story of when American Indian children were removed from their homes, mostly forcibly in the beginning, and taken to various boarding schools across the country. We have a brand new long-term exhibition titled Substance of Stars. Substance of Stars is a multisensory experience that takes visitors on a storytelling journey with 4 distinct communities, the Haudenosaunee, Yupik, Diné, and Akimel Atam, as artists share their unique perspectives, stories, and experiences through art, installation pieces, textiles, sculptures, and poetry. Substance of Stars features a 360-degree theater experience called the Sky Dome, where visitors can journey through indigenous homelands and into the stars with digital technology. On campus, we have the cafe. We have a bookstore, which sells books and little gifts. Every year we have the hoop dance, which usually takes place in February, and that happens on our grounds in the amphitheater. So visitors get to sit along the grass, and then down at the bottom of the amphitheater is where the performers perform. And this is like a worldwide competition. You know, we get so many visitors enjoying hoop dance and the music. In March, we have the Heard Guild Indian Fair and Market. The whole parking lot on the Heard Museum campus is filled with tents, and every single one of those tents has Native artists selling their art. When we present our exhibitions, we take a lot of time and effort to include the first-person voice. So if there is an artist that is willing to share his or her stories with us, we try to include that as much as possible into the labels or the explanation or the overall theme of presenting the exhibition. So we're working very hard to keep our exhibitions, I think, relevant and meaningful to the people that we're presenting. The Heard Museum is important to me because it's one of those rare places that present indigenous cultures and indigenous arts, and in a way that is respectful to those groups.
Every year, the Heard Museum hosts its annual World Championship Hoop Dance Contest, drawing thousands of visitors who enjoy watching dancers from all tribal nations throughout the United States and Canada. Blending cultural expression and precision dancing, they compete for the highest honor of being the world's greatest hoop dancer. The World Championship Hoop Dance Contest happens in February each year. For more information, go to heard.org. I'll be back with more on Doing More right after this. Welcome back to Doing More, where we shine a light on the good things happening in our communities. We're here at the Heard Museum celebrating National Native American Heritage Month. We visited a Louisiana organization whose mission is to lead, educate, inspire, preserve, and sustain its community's trees and green spaces. Take a look.
Baton Rouge Green is a local nonprofit 501c3. We were formed in 1987 to help preserve our urban canopy and hopefully even grow it in some cases. We work with all kinds of partners across the community and the state actually to preserve and sustain our community trees and green spaces. Today, Baton Rouge Green is out at Clegg's Nursery on Segan Lane, and this is our annual Tree Spree event where we work together with the folks at Clegg's to bring out a whole host of species that we would really like to see people putting in their yards in Baton Rouge.
We really just want to have a conversation. That's the first thing we want to do, is facilitate a conversation with our customers and talk to them about getting a tree, the right tree in the right place for their needs. It's really important to get the right tree in the right place so that tree can make it to maturity. When a tree gets to maturity, that's when you start realizing the ecological benefits that that tree is providing for our environment in any urban environment. So a tree that only makes it 7 or 8 years isn't doing anyone any good. A tree that makes it 30, 40, 50, 100 years is what we're shooting for. And you want to minimize conflict, so that's really important to get the right tree in the right place.
Just so many native trees and things that people should be planting and knowing about planting things. It's just really important. And these people are really knowledgeable.
This is our one time a year where we get to help people one-on-one with what they have in their space, right? So we do a lot of work on roadsides and in schools and with businesses even on occasion, and work with the city and the state. But this is our homeowner interaction day where we get to come out and talk about and share our knowledge of native tree species, how to plant them, where to plant, talk about your particular landscape, your needs, and try to find something that's going to work.
I have definitely learned a better way to plant things from these events. You know, it used to be how I would dig a hole and how I would fill it back, and I killed a lot of plants until somebody said, well, you're not doing that right.
At this event, we try to recruit a lot of the smaller native species. It's pretty easy to find large native species at most commercial nurseries. But at this one, we try to give some alternate selections. Crepe myrtles are great, but sometimes people want a little bit of variety in their gardening and a little bit of variety in the urban canopy. So we'll bring in some mid-sized and smaller native trees, which are pretty hard to find.
Why this is so important, and just because we get to actually reach out to homeowners from our area and connect them with local growers, ideally. People who are growing the kind of species that we want to see more of, and they're growing them within 100 miles of this location.
We've been doing business in Baton Rouge for over 30 years. We just want to really encourage people to help maintain the urban canopy.
Baton Rouge Green is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization whose work is supported in large part by the generous gifts of the community and friends. For more information, go to batonrougegreen.com. While I enjoy my hot cup of coffee from the Heard Museum's Courtyard Cafe, check out Cox Charities Las Vegas, where they celebrated organizations through generous financial grants.
We are celebrating 15 years of having Cox Charities here in Southern Nevada. Today, I have been honored to actually see 28 organizations receive funding that can definitely help our community.
This generous donation from Cox Charities is going to support our Discovery on Wheels program.
We plan to utilize this money to go back into our clients and help them get back into the workforce.
To purchase new technology, Braille technology, to assist our younger students.
Provide over 500 meals to homebound seniors.
Towards a new program called STEAM Saturdays.
Whether that's with rental assistance or utility assistance or food insecurity, we're going to make sure they have what they need.
Workforce readiness, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy.
This money will be used to purchase supplies and materials for our students to use in their classes.
The funds are going towards STEM programming.
Will be used to support both our IT Works and our CX Works program.
So for every dollar we get, we can provide 3 meals. So you're providing 6,000 meals. to our recurring family support programs here in Las Vegas for our active duty service members and their families.
Full scholarships for 7 campers to attend Camp Pride Tree.
We do a lot of programming for military families, especially families of currently deployed service members.
Our employees, they donate dollars. And so we've granted 28 organizations $86,000 today.
The grant is actually going to go to a take-home kit for middle school teachers to use to teach water conservation in their classroom.
Are going to support our Garden Connect program.
We're supplying homeless vets with socks, hygiene kits and that.
Go to help us get critical supplies into the hands of young people that are visiting our drop-in center every day.
Thank you, Cox Charities, for continuing to support our first-generation students here in Las Vegas and continue to support the education pathways we have here in our communities.
This money is going to make the lives easier for many teachers and, most importantly, provide students with the supplies they need to succeed in the classroom.
You are truly restoring lives and bringing help to women who have been sexually trafficked and exploited. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Cox Charities and your employees for this grant to lend a hand of Boulder City.
You're really going to help make a difference in our community.
This is going to help so many kids right here in our community.
Thank you, Cox Charities, for this generous donation and for being all in for students.
This grant is going to make a lot of children smile. Thank you.
Thank you, Cox Charities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cox Charities.
Thank you, Cox Charities.
Thanks, Cox Charities. Thank you, Cox Charities.
Thank you, Cox Charities.
It's wonderful because I get to see my coworkers really witness the goodness that our company does in our community, and it just warms my heart.
Cox is always one of the biggest and strongest supporters of our local nonprofits, and we could not do this work without community partners like you.
But we can't do it without our community backing us up. So thank you guys for having our back and making our mission possible.
You are making a difference every day.
Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. We're celebrating National Native American Heritage Month here at the Heard Museum, where I'm just outside of the museum's new exhibit, The Substance of Stars. Substance of Stars is a multi-sensory experience that takes visitors on a storytelling journey with 4 distinct communities: the Haudenosaunee, Yupik, Dene, and Akimel O'odham, as artists share their unique perspectives, stories, and experiences through art, installation pieces, textiles, sculptures, and poetry. Substance of Stars features a 360-degree theater experience called the Sky Dome, where visitors can journey through indigenous homelands and into the stars with digital technology. For more information on the Heard Museum's Substance of Stars, go to heard.org. We headed to New England to visit an organization making a difference one meal at a time.
Meals on Wheels of Rhode Island, we're best known for our home-delivered meal program that serves approximately 2,300 older adults each year statewide. Our mission is to meet the nutritional and special needs of older adults to help them maintain their independence. So we're much more than a meal. We're a life-saving safety check and an opportunity for socialization. Meals on Wheels of Rhode Island was started in 1969 by our founder, Joe Brown. He started serving home-delivered meals to 17 seniors and 1 route in Providence. And in July of 2022, we served our 20 millionth home-delivered meal. Our service center and headquarters is located in Providence, Rhode Island, and each weekday, over half of our home-delivered meals are dispatched out of that physical location. We also have countless partnerships around the state that serve as distribution sites for our home-delivered meals program. So volunteers typically go to either our Providence location, as I mentioned, that's our volunteer center, it's our headquarters, it's also where we do training and different in-service programs, or they go to a partner site located in the community statewide to get their meals, their delivery sheets, and any other information they'll need for their route that day. Meals on Wheels of Rhode Island relies on a third-party caterer called Trio Community Meals. But Trio, as a company, serves Meals on Wheels programs throughout the country. Trio has been an incredible partner in our work, and really their partnership was key to our delivery without disruption during COVID-19. And just a few weeks ago, we launched our first medically tailored menu, which is a menu that's tailored to support individuals managing cardiac disease. Our 2025 strategic plan really thought long and hard about what our next 20 million meals would look like. Laid out in this plan is a goal that focuses on innovating and scaling our more than a meal model and thinking about other interventions that we could perform as an organization to address social determinants of health and advance health equity. Our second goal positions our home delivered meal program for sustainability and growth. And then our supporting goals really think about the capacity we'll need for our next 20 million meals and how we can continue to grow and change as an organization. You can sign up to volunteer. We need volunteers statewide to deliver meals in their community, or you can make a donation to support our important work. Please visit our website at rameals.org for more information about how you can help us continue to put our mission into action.
We visited Cox Communications, where the Cox Salute ERG replaced old American flags in the community with new U.S. flags made by a veteran-owned company through the Flag Replacement Initiative.
This service was originated to continue our commitment to our veteran community by servicing our customers and the community with flags that were either weathered, tattered, or torn. And so we had this initiative to be able to replace those flags free of charge through the project Stars and Stripes.
Our technicians are volunteer basis. They sign up for it and we give them an American-made flag from a veteran-owned company. While they're out running a route, they're able to see whether they're a customer or not, a flag that needs to be replaced, whether it's, deteriorated from the sun or it's just beaten down. So we'll knock on the customer's door and make sure that it's okay to replace that flag. With utmost respect, we take care of that flag, make sure they're okay with it. If they want us to take that flag with us, we'll dispose of it properly, or they're allowed to keep it.
The community response to that is just a level of appreciation that they aren't accustomed to, especially now. I think it's one thing that it's a gesture of kindness, and it's not only showcasing our pride for our country that we live in.
We changed out a flag for a customer. His grandson was overseas. He got wounded in Iraq, and he's had this flag flown ever since. So he didn't really realize that it's just fallen apart. So for us to go out and change it out, he kept that flag as a symbol, and then he had a brand new flag, and he was really taken back on the generosity of us just going out throughout the community and changing those out.
The story that comes to mind of replacing a flag comes from a couple. The gentleman served in the Vietnam War era, and that's near and dear to my heart. That is the time in which my grandfather served. He served 27 years in the U.S. Army. And so having that conversation and being able to explain the project that we deliver through Stars and Stripes and replacing the flag brought a lot of honor. The veteran did decide to keep the flag for his own personal reasons, but it was good to see us be able to put a new flag on his home and be able to continue our service to the community.
One particular flag that I was able to hand a recipient is actually a pretty funny story that this person, such as myself, served in the United States Marine Corps, and after getting some time to talking, we actually served in the same battalion, but in different eras. So that was such a memorable experience that I had, and he's also a lifelong Cox customer, so I think what we did was we actually kind of garnered that relationship for a longer time now. Regardless of what your job title is, you can go to any area service center and sign up and then have a flag on you and be able to present it when the time is right.
This program that we offer here at Cox Communications goes to show the value in which we put into our veterans and the veteran community, and it stands for the symbolism of freedom when it comes to our United States flag. And it continues on that legacy, tradition, honor, and respect that we have for our country. And for a company to stand up for that is unparalleled.
We'll be back with more on Doing More right after this. Welcome back to Doing More, where we shine a light on the good things happening in our communities. We're here at the Heard Museum celebrating National Native American Heritage Month. Our final stop was at the Boys and Girls Club of the Valley Avondale Branch, where we had a chance to meet with former NFL Super Bowl champion Malcolm Mitchell, who shared the magic of literacy.
I grew up in South Georgia. I grew up in a single-parent household. I have an older brother, younger sister, and my mother. And we're very close, and my mother was the rock of our family. She kind of led by example. She taught us persistence, perseverance, and resilience. And through those lessons, I was able to overcome some of the challenges associated with poverty. I was able to go to the University of Georgia on an athletic scholarship where I played sport and I went to school. Later, I realized that the right way to look at that was I went to school and I just happened to play sports. I saw the NFL as a way for me to accomplish my goal, but also a way for me to help others. I was in college and I walked into a bookstore. Now this is around the same time I'm a projected draft pick, but I'm also going through this reading experience, and I say to myself, everyone wants to listen to athletes for some reason. Maybe I should give them something valuable to listen to. And I felt like reading was this profound experience that exposed me to new possibilities. When I created Share the Magic Foundation, I wanted to accomplish two things. One, I wanted to make sure that kids in under-resourced communities had access to books. Because I can yell read as much as I want, but if kids don't have age-appropriate books, then what are they supposed to read? The second part was communicating reading in a culturally relevant way where communities could understand the value of it. So I try to communicate the value of reading in a way for communities to understand and embrace, because it is truly a tool that will amplify every aspect of your life. I partnered with Cox to really expand their affordable internet offerings. What's so cool about this is Cox has this long-standing relationship with the Boys and Girls Club, and they're creating these innovation labs that allow kids to explore their curiosity, learn internet safety or online safety, and use it as a tool to enhance their future. And to me, that's the same thing that I'm communicating with literacy. Through exposure and proper resources, you can look beyond your immediate circumstances. This partnership with Cox is something that I hope grants kids more opportunities to explore and learn new things, not only about the world, but themselves too. I remember being terrified of reading when I was a child. And now today, I will read a book that I wrote for the children, and I'll read it aloud, and hopefully in an engaging way.
To succeed, you must read! Yay!
I want to thank the Heard Museum for helping us celebrate National Native American Heritage Month and for sharing the rich, beautiful Native American arts and culture. National Native American Heritage Month is a time to celebrate rich and diverse cultures, traditions, and histories, and to acknowledge the important contributions of Native American people. It's also a time of opportunity to educate yourselves about indigenous tribes, to raise general awareness about the unique challenges Native Americans have faced, both historically and in the present, and how tribal nations have worked hard to conquer these challenges through their resiliency and endurance. I'm Erica Cardenas. Thanks so much for joining me.